Hi everyone, how are you? Well, let's start. I think everything is working now. I think so. Yeah, no. Okay, so we are live. Okay, so let's do this. I'm currently checking. I have an issue here with the items when we try to pick some items. We have this, let's see. So for some reason, the system that I have to, oops, what's going on? This is new for me, so I'm getting a lot of notifications and stuff. So here I'm trying to figure out why my system is not working properly. Well, actually, the physics are, I still don't understand. You can see the the jacket up there. So when we are close to an item, usually it highlights. Let me put it that in English. So it highlights the item, and here we will be able to pick it up. But sometimes, sometimes we lose, like it's not detecting the item. So I want to know. I want to kind of debug this and see why are we having this issue, because it's getting very annoying, especially when you have like a ton of different items. So let's see. So what I'm seeing is all the items that you detect go to an array, and then my system that it's uh, like trying to figure out what's the best interactable that you have around based on the angle from the camera to the item. So you can see when he moves, so I'm wondering if that's caused by the maybe that's caused by the trigger. I have a trigger here. Maybe this trigger should be, instead of doing it this way, let me see. I think I have here in clothing. I have a parent. So let's try to modify the parent first, so that affects all the children viewport. Let's try to make this area a little bit. I don't know if make it a little bit bigger, or maybe just to move this. So we get a better interaction. Let's see. I think probably this solves the issue. Let me see here. Maybe it was an issue just from the here. Well, that can be. Let me see we have uh, interactable length is 1. So when okay, I think this is working better. Maybe that's what I have that's what I have to do. Actually, let me do something. Instead of doing it in the parent, I'm gonna do it in the parent of the parent, so in the grandparent. Here on the interactable base, let me put that as not top, but maybe left, and then I can do something like this. So it's a better. And I don't know why the hoodie is the only object that gets super crazy when, because what happens is those objects or those items, they don't have physics. So what they do is there is a window of 5 seconds where the game starts, and now because we're in development mode, we don't really see this, but the idea is to have, so we will have like a screen that you don't see what's going on, but the game is already working. Then we'll have this like 5 seconds window where the game loads any data if we have a save game, and then activate the physics, so anything that has been spawned is gonna land on the landscape, and then after those 5 seconds, it's gonna be a fade out, and then we'll be able to play. But right now we don't see that. We just see now we're in those 5 seconds things fall. So probably that was. ¿Estás en vídeo o es un vídeo? ¿Estás en vivo o es un vídeo? Estoy en vivo. Estoy probando. Hoy tenía más tiempo. Normalmente no streameo en sábados. Pero digo, voy a probar streamear en YouTube para ver qué tal. Así que nada. Hoy, y también pruebo de streamear en inglés. A ver si cambia. Pensé que era un vídeo. Bueno, no es un vídeo. So yeah, I'm still having those issues here. El tema de la interacción no me funciona muy bien. No entiendo. Sigue en inglés, sigue. Así practicas. Yeah, I was saying that I'm trying to figure out if I can get a consistent behavior. Well, let me see the sneakers. So I have another issue here. As you can see, it's saying location request failed. This is because the player is off the nav mesh, so the AI is not able to reach us. But when that happens, he should change the mode to roaming instead of staying there. So yeah, I'm having some issues here with different stuff. I think this is working a little bit better, not as good as I would like, but yeah, when we have two items very close to each other, and then it picked up So that's an issue here because it said it picked up the sneakers, but then it destroyed the, so it picked up the sneakers but equipped the blade. So this is an issue here. So maybe I can do something like here, get best interactable, and just do a check. I can do a check here. VP player. Okay, so let's do, I'm gonna create on the how do we call it, some character blueprints, where is it, characters. On the interface, I'm gonna, let's add a new function that says get is picking up. So that goes to the category, and then we wanna have an output that says is picking up. So this is a way for me to not look for better interactables in the moment that we are actually picking up an object. So when we start picking up an object, it's gonna get stuck to that object and not try to pick up something else. Because I think that's what creates this bug where you try to pick up, for example, the sword, and then you were picking up the sneakers. So here we can do we can do get owner, and then from the owner now we can say get is picking up. So if that false branch. So if that's false, then we are allowed to look for a better interactable. Then the way that is gonna work, it's on player, on the interaction, functions, graphs, on the interaction. It says perform pickup interaction animation. So here, let me see. We have the interactable base on the event graph. When we interact with the item, we register the item. That's all of that is information management. We don't really do too much here. Then the tutorial, and then we do the perform pickup interaction. Okay, so here I just wanted to make sure. So now we do all of that, and then okay, so we can create here. Let's create a new variable. Yesterday I formatted my computer. It looks like I had a lot of junk, although I'm quite tidy. Now Unreal works much better. ¿Qué tenías? Un montón de... Esto yo también lo tendría que hacer de vez en cuando, borrar toda la basura que tengo en el ordenador. Porque tengo 2 terabytes de disco duro y lo tengo casi a tope. Sí, así que estoy seguro que hay un montón de cosas. Que además, lo que más me jode es que Windows descarga cosas y tiene cosas activas que yo ni uso. Pero me da miedo borrarlas por si peta. Aquí... Así, quería crear una variable nueva. Quería crear una variable nueva, ¿no? Que se llame isPickingUp. Estamos recogiendo algo. Y isPickingUp. Y entonces aquí lo que haremos es cuando iniciamos la acción de recoger algo, le diremos está recogiendo y cuando acabe la función, o cuando acabe la animación, digamos, el isPickingUp lo devolveremos a false o a falso, ¿no? Vale, entonces, y ahora, por el otro lado, hay que decirle, ¿no? A la interfaz que nos actualice este valor en el player controller, player communication. Los discos no hay que llevarlos llenos, al menos llevarlos a un 80% de su capacidad de almacenamiento sería mucho mejor. Yo creo que uno de ellos está al 99 y el otro igual sí que está al 80, pero los tengo jodidos. A ver aquí el storage. Tengo 75 gigas libres, 73 de 930. Y yo es que no sé qué borrar, ¿eh? Y sí, intento ir haciendo limpieza, pero no sé qué borrar. En software suelo tener software me ocupa mucho, porque o sea, en este disco solo tengo el software que uso, ¿no? Unreal, Photoshop, tengo los proyectos de Unreal que pesan un huevo, y luego todo lo que se descarga, imagino que de Quixel, que yo creo que eso es lo que a veces, si no voy haciendo limpieza, se me acumula y a lo mejor tengo 200 gigas en cosas de Quixel. Pero es en documentos, ya me está diciendo que tengo 180 gigas. Es una barbaridad. ¿Cómo puede ser? ¿Será esto que me pesa tanto? A ver. Quixel ocupa bastante. Sí, son los Unreal Projects, me ocupan 220 gigas. Y los megascans, a ver. Por esto lo voy borrando. Porque lo que no sabía, a ver, que tiene sentido, pero cuando tú te lo descargas, digamos que se descarga en la librería y luego cuando tú lo usas, se duplica en tu proyecto. Entonces, claro, puedes tener un pitote ahí de cosas duplicadas. Tengo 3 gigas solo en megascans. Bueno, entonces aquí, nada, simplemente actualizaremos hmm, pondremos esto aquí, el set, ¿vale? Entonces esto se nos actualiza y de aquí, entonces, inventory, Aquí, ¿no? Era donde hacíamos el speaking up. A ver si esto nos solventa el problema este, ¿no? De que nos recoja varias cosas. Vale, entonces cuando estoy aquí, el problema que tengo... Y esto es lo que no... A ver, un momento. Creo que me ha petado por culpa de la información que tenía salvada. Esto es lo que no me explico. No sé cómo hacerlo de que para que sea más consistente, ¿eh? No sé si no sé si no lo tendría que hacer con un line trace. Porque ahora cuando recogemos la... ¿Ves? Y no... Hostia, esto... Le pasa, bueno, le pasa, depende, le pasa más a más cosas. Todo depende del, hostia, además esto, las físicas a veces me flipan. Depende mucho de la posición de la cámara. Entonces, hay momentos, espera un momento, vamos a poner aquí le vamos a poner, déjame mirar vamos a ponerlo esto visible, here in game. Así veremos. ¡Hostia! Ah, esto no lo sabía. Ahora. A ver. Claro, aquí hay un problema. ¿Dónde están las? Claro, aquí esto funciona. Claro, con razón. Hostia, qué cosa más rara, ¿no? FN1. A ver, ¿dónde están las colisiones de esto? ¿Dónde está? Hostia, estoy alucinando. Krieger. Arriba. Hostias. Bueno, este es normal que esté. Bueno, no es que sea normal, pero entiendo por qué está aquí. Menos 279. Esto tiene que estar como muy abajo, ¿no? Sí, lo de la sudadera tampoco lo entiendo. Por alguna razón, la sudadera es la única que. O sea, mira que todos son clases. Son clases que heredan de la misma clase. O sea, todas estas clases son hijos de la clase ropa genérica. Y el chaleco o la sudadera es la única que me hace actúa de esta forma. No lo entiendo. Las físicas. Las físicas no, es que no entiendo. Y ahora aquí ¿Por qué narices no veo, no? ¿Dónde está la esfera? La escala es 1. No sé, estas cosas me alucinan bastante. Sí, sí, está visible, está visible. Si venimos... em, esto es otro error que tengo, que ahora también voy a aprovechar para arreglarlo porque me pone bastante malo. Y es que cuando coges un ítem y se recarga el juego y carga todo lo que tenías, mm, por alguna razón ha dejado de funcionar el tema que te quite ese ítem de la escena. Pero si yo ahora vuelvo a cargar y borro todo lo que tengo guardado, hostia, le he dado al salir en lugar de para. Mira, me lo pone por debajo. No sé. Ya, déjame poner un momento el ventilador, que no, pero. Em, a ver, aquí en las físicas, el ítem, begin, widget, the object is not until for a second, at beginning. Vale, aquí lo que hacemos es, esperamos 4 segundos. ¿Y esto aquí qué estoy haciendo? Ah, vale, vale. Disable physics. Next placeholder simulate. Aquí estamos como... Aquí es donde muevo, ¿no? A ver, si desconecto esto, porque aquí es donde lo que hago es que muevo el... Como las físicas solo afectan al static mesh, digamos que el origen del objeto queda con un offset. Entonces aquí lo que hago es muevo todo el objeto para que el origen del objeto se mueva con el... con la malla. Pero claro, con razón tengo tantos problemas de interacción, si es que los triggers están mal, ¿no? Y aquí no aquí yo creo que creo que el radio debería ser más grande, porque lo que pasa es que a veces o te tienes que acercar mucho, ¿no? Entonces creo que el problema es cómo hacemos. O sea, ¿por qué trigger, static, el mesh? Vale. A ver si aquí cuando desactivamos las físicas, habría que mover el objeto. Esto. Voy a hacer un set y lo vamos a guardar porque me da que esto igual varía. Entonces vamos a mover todo el objeto, vamos a mover todo el objeto a la posición de la malla de la static mesh. Y voy a mover el static mesh a la posición porque al mover el padre vuelvo a mover todo lo que está dentro. Entonces tengo que reposicionar lo que esté. Es un poco lío de entender, pero bueno. Yo creo que. Vale, entonces vamos a ver. Vale, entonces ahora se ha caído y ahora cuando al cabo de 4 segundos, aquí es el problema, este es el problema que tengo. No me está reposicionando las cosas en sitio, ¿no? Vamos a coger un objeto, por ejemplo, solo, y así no me distraigo con otros objetos. Pero vamos a ponerlo aquí. Entonces vamos a concentrarnos en la espada, ¿no? Que es la que quizás actúa de una forma más extraña. Entonces, la espada está ahí, esperamos 4 segundos, activamos las físicas, se cae, y ahora sí nos lo ha hecho más o menos bien. Esto está a 2, location. Si esto lo pongo. Lo que Lo que no sé es por qué me modifica también la rotación. La espada, la espada está 000, está todo, esto está todo correcto, pero esto, vamos a ver dónde modifico actor rotation. ¿Cómo que actor rotation? Claro, este es el fallo, ¿no? Estoy modificando, esto tendría que ser, esto debería ser la malla, no el objeto, no el container. Mesh placeholder. Este va aquí, este va aquí. A ver si haciendo esto nos ayuda. A menos a que no nos rote el padre, ¿no? El container. Vale. No nos ha hecho la rotación o qué? Cloning. Set relative rotation. No nos rota el objeto, ¿no? Si le digo rotation, quizás habría que hacer add relative rotation. Esto aquí, en lugar de hacerlo así, déjame hacer vamos a hacer un make rotation o make rotator y todo esto lo vamos a poner aquí y el make rotator se lo ponemos aquí. No me gira para nada esto. Vamos a probar en lugar de add relative rotation, si le digo world rotation. Mm. Voy a poner un dilatation aquí para que me pare el juego, así podemos ver si nos está haciendo la rotación o no. Vale, aquí sí que nos lo rota. Entonces igual, no sé por qué. Trackable base. Si le ponemos un delay, no sé, por probar, porque es que ya estoy alucinando. Quizás. Vale. Y entonces aquí quizás habría que ponerle, ¿no? Clothing. Y dale con el clothing. Y cerrar esto. VP. Aquí la posición. La posición del. Claro, habría que mover. A ver, vamos a volver a mirar una cosa. Hey, Buttons, how are you? I'm just working here with. I have some issues with my interaction system when we are like trying to pick up objects. It's like because the objects. What I do is for 5 seconds I apply some physics so they can just lay on the ground. So the way I have it set it up, because the static mesh is not the same component, I have an issue with the triggers. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, if I can move after after I stop the physics, I'm gonna try to move the trigger, so this sphere where the object is, so we can interact with it. So that's that's what I'm trying to do. I am a very big fan of your videos. Oh, thank you so much. I mean, I try my best. I know sometimes maybe I get grumbling about some stuff, but yeah, I'm always trying my best to make the videos interesting, teach something, or share my experience. So yeah, I'm trying to fix this. I'm trying to understand what's wrong with my objects here. So the static mesh is there. Static mesh. Okay, and then is that the trigger? Oh, why the trigger is not? The editing is very good, very enjoyable. Well, thank you so much. Trigger area. Okay. So where is my when I try to, I don't know if I should move. So this is the whole, I'm moving the whole thing. Trigger area. Is this a new game or the same game? That's the same game. I have been working for some time now. It's just like I use for development. I use this like blank, like blank level. So it's easy for me to try stuff. For example, I was working on the AI for the enemy, so it's easier to iterate and to try different stuff, and you don't get distracted by the beauty or the ugliness of your level. so you can just focus on refining mechanics, and that's why I use like this, yeah, the development level. But the game, it's the same. I have been working on like this week. We were working on adding new. Yeah, the name is Lobo. In Spanish means wolf, and this is because, well, it's related to the story of the game, and I wanted a short name that it's easy to almost to say in any language. I don't know if maybe in Japanese or Korean, maybe they have. I don't know if that's easy for them, but for English speakers and Spanish speakers and almost anyone, it's short, and I think it's easy to pronounce. Because I had another game. My first game was called Crumbling World, and here I'm gonna put it here. Crumbling. Oi, crumbling. And yeah, that was hard to say. Not just only for me, but for streamers, and when people was asking me, I was saying it and people wasn't understanding, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna try to get a short name, easy to say, easy to spell if I have to. And that's another part of making games. It's about the how easy, I mean, the marketing, no? It's how easy it is to to say your game name. You want to know more the story? So yeah, the story. Well, this is the player. This is the main, and you can see he's not really human. You can see him here. So he's a kid that has he has been raised by his grandparents in the depths of the forest, and that's why that the reason of that is because he was born different. As you can see, he's not totally human or not totally. So the way to protect him, the grandparents raised him in the middle of the forest. So there is like two things in the story. There is like the main world, the lore of the world, and this world. No, he's not an elf, or he's not a goblin. He's a werewolf. That's why the name of the name is wolf, because he's a werewolf. But he doesn't really know it yet. So when you play, this is a little bit how you say it? I forgot the name. Well, I blanked out. It's spoiler. It's a little bit spoiler, but I think it's important to know that you play. So he's a werewolf. He doesn't know it yet, and that's a side story of the main story. Yeah, spoiler. So not that much, because you're gonna figure it out very fast, and it doesn't really matter. And it's important for the player to understand this part. So the main story of the game, it's you live with your grandma. Grandpa passed away some years ago. You live with your grandma, and you have this like very like routine kind of stuff where can we play as wolf? You mean as a werewolf or as the character? So the main story is your grandma is attacked by some creatures, and these creatures are this kind of zombie thing. Those are called the Fallen, and the Fallen are humans that they were fallen in combat, and then they were cursed by. That's when the werewolf. It's gonna be one of the skills that you're gonna be unlocking later on the game. When you discover that you're a werewolf, you're gonna be able to unlock those skills. And I don't want to say too much, but you're gonna have different. You're gonna be able to, if you played Kratos, not Kratos, God of War. Kratos has this rage thing where when you are fighting, the rage meter fills up, and then you can, when it's all full, you can like unleash the rage. So we are gonna have a similar mechanic where, yeah, you're gonna be Okay, so let me explain the whole thing. So the game loop is, it's a story-driven game. So the story, so the game has, obviously, it's gonna have a main storyline with quests related to the story, and then you're gonna have side quests. But the main story is, you live with your grandma. Grandma dies. That's not a spoiler because it happens in the first 5 minutes of the game. But that builds the arc of the character. Grandma dies, but because she's killed by these like cursed creatures, that what they do is they kill the body, but they capture the soul. You're gonna be able to recover the soul, so you can bring your grandma to life again. So the main journey of the game, it's this journey where the character, the player, wants to kind of bring grandma back to life, and then you are in this world it's a conflict world. It's a world of, like a kind of like, you can call it like a civil war between humans and werewolves, where the werewolf is not just a monster, it's more like a civilization. They have hierarchies, they have army, they have it's more like almost like a race. And then there in this world you're gonna meet other creators. It's like a fantasy world, but set kind of in modern times, where it's kind of a post-apocalyptic kind of post-war, and that's why the character, it's not so medieval. He's more like, if I equip him, you'll see. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of NPCs. Yeah, this is not working good here. But let me equip all the stuff so you can see kind of how he looks when he has clothing. I didn't texture the backpack yet. But see, for example, the sword, it's like a modern sword. It's not like so medieval, it's more like modern. Okay, so let's see if the inventory works now. So you can equip your stuff. And yeah, it's the game. It's nothing to do with the story, but it's inspired by The Last of Us and Diablo, or God of War as well, a little bit. Or God of War more probably in the combat, but the main mechanics, some of the mechanics, it's very heavily inspired by The Last of Us. So here you can see the character. You can see the sword is more like a modern sword. And yeah. So I'm trying here just to see when you pick up something, it didn't disappear from the scene. That's another bug. And then here I can show you a little bit more how it looks. So like the real level. Is this game based on fantasy on sci-fi? It's fantasy, but I'm gonna say imagine fantasy in current times. Did you see, for example, nothing to do, but did you watch that movie with Will Smith that they are in current time LA, but it's a society where there are like elves, there are ogres, or how you call it, not goblins but orcs. So it's, imagine a society kind of that, where it's kind of contemporary but fantasy. That's kind of. Hey Abdullah, how are you? So let me show you the level. The real level. Movie name. It's kind of, it's, I think I watch it. It's on Netflix, I think. But Will Smith. Los Angeles. He's a cop. Orcs. I don't remember. Oh, Bright. He's a cop, and he's a cop and has this right. I liked it because it's very different. It's a movie. It's a fantasy movie set in Los Angeles, current time or contemporary, and his partner is an orc, but there are elves. There is magic. It's for me, it was very original. I liked it. You watched it? So the setting, it's nothing to do with this, but the idea is a little bit to, mix, like, what would be a fantasy world more in current times, and then it's more after a war between the humans and the werewolves. So there is this like kind of chaotic world. It's not post-apocalyptic, but it's gonna be post-war. Oh, they have a second one. Oh, I didn't watch the second one yet. Modern time fantasy world, yeah, exactly. And then to make it everything even more weird, if you want, I'm setting this in a kind of like Asian or Eastern environment, because I'm inspired by, worlds kind of like now that that was sad this week, he passed away, but Akira Toriyama from Dragon Ball or Dr. Slump. So these kind of crazy worlds, I like these kind of crazy worlds that mix like modern, traditional. I know it's gonna be a little bit hard to picture it, but I hope I can put it together in a way that it's easy to understand. Timeline 2024? No, it's gonna be late 2025. You mean for the release of the game? So you start the game here. This is your house, and then you're gonna have. Oh, let me change that to English. So at the very beginning, you're gonna be able to obviously get dressed, and then this is Grandma. She's gonna give us some quests.
Good morning.
And this character is based on my mom. So all the NPCs are based on real people. My parents, my friends. I mean, the game setting and era. Oh, there is no actual year. It's just gonna be modern times. Can be maybe more 90s because I like the clothing. It's gonna be more like pop. Like that pop kind of culture. 90s, early 2000s. 2000s, 2000s.
Good morning, Grandma. I did.
Same old nightmare.
Don't worry.
I know.
I made you.
Yummy.
So she's giving us some quests here. Those quests are very silly just to learn the mechanics of the quest system.
Your parents would.
And then here now we can go to our quest log and we can see what are the quests that we have to do. And then yeah, I have to add animations for when we are picking up stuff in different heights. And then we can leave. I have an issue there with the plants. And yeah. So what I wanted to show, well, we can grab, that's gonna be in the room, it's not gonna be here. But I'm having an issue when you pick up stuff, it's not disappearing from the scene. But let me, okay. So now I can equip. And then I have been working on this tutorial. I ask every game dev this question, please don't mind what you think. What's the most fun part of this game? I think the most fun for me is gonna be the experience that you get from the story and the combat. Because for the combat, you're gonna be able to. There are 4 different kind of weapons. So there are 4 categories of weapons in this game. There is stealth weapons, melee weapons, heavy weapons, and firearms. And the kind of the difference in this game is that you're gonna be able to equip them all together. So you're gonna have, if you want, you can have like 4 weapons that you can use at any time. It's not like other games that maybe you have to equip, if you have a, let's say, yeah, it's gonna be a skill tree. I'll show you in a second. Here, so this is the tutorial part of the stealth. So the tutorial works it's like an interactive memory, and this is your grandpa who is gonna teach you how the stealth. For example, in this case, is the stealth system. Then we have some conversations, and I teach you here how to equip your stuff. So we can now equip the knives. and then it's gonna ask us to do some stuff. So here you can see you're gonna be able to quickly use any weapons that you put on, you know, like on the bottom. Right now we only have one thing.
Exercise caution with these strikes. They're quick, but
I'm having a ton of issues. I can see it's now.
let's advance.
He didn't play the animation.
Sneak around by
That's,
crossing to enter stealth mode.
This is it's very dark. So we can crouch.
You'll move slower, but quieter. Drop into tall grass to vanish from sight. Enemies won't suspect a thing, even if you're right in front of them.
Is that a fallen?
I have to add some lights here. This is very dark.
Keep
I don't know if you can see, there is like a zombie there kind of eating something.
directed from combat.
And this is just to teach you how to do the stealth.
In some
Very classic stealth mode.
cells
And here you can grab some stones so you can throw them to create distractions.
drop into tall grass to vanish from sight. Very well. Grab a throwable like a stone or a bottle and toss it for a distraction. Watch enemies take the bait. You are doing great. In stealth mode, approach an unsuspecting enemy from behind and unleash perfect for silently,
And this is the tutorial.
especially those who might alert others of your presence. Harley, excellent job. I'm proud of you.
Are you leaving?
Yes, you're ready now.
I love you so much.
I love you. Harley.
This is a memory. It's not real. You are saying I should not push you as much, but yeah, you just ask anything you want. There is no problem. You said why Grandpa knows. I have something here. It's not letting me see the. Why Grandpa knows this and why can't he communicate with us? Well, Grandpa he passed away from, let's say, being old, and he knows all of that stuff because he was in the war before. So the current world, it's the result, or it's in a post-war scenario. So Grandpa was, let's say, in the army on that war, so that's why he knows all about combat, and he's teaching us how to use all of these weapons. Obviously, that's something that you're gonna be learning when you play the game. That's gonna be explained in some way. I think that's it. I don't have too much here to show. I can show a little bit the scenario, the scene, or the level. All of that was done with PCG in Unreal 5, obviously. And this scene is just like what I call Act 1. And Act 1 is going to be kind of like the demo where it's where you're going to learn, you're going to get some quests and learn some combat and all of that stuff. How you keep track of your story can hardly to do it. You need to have first of all, the story has been written already, and then you need a game design document. So everything it's not super well explained, but I have everything. So I know what I'm doing, and I'm, even if sometimes we move a little bit from the main document. That's why it's very important to write those documents. And I use this app, it's called Milanat for that. And then, yeah, I have my systems here. For example, that's the enemies, all the profiles. So the background, the gameplay, if there is a boss, all the attributes, and all of that stuff, that kind of stuff. So my GDD is more visual. It's not just. Yeah, that's why I use Mylanote, because instead of having a long, let's say, instead of having a super long document with just words and boring to watch or to look, I have this project where, for example, we can come to here to the world building, and then I have here all my quests, how are they related, side quests, the encounters, all of that stuff. Then we have the world map and some ideas, you know. I have the city map or the interaction that it's going to be in the city. Well, it's going to be a little town. It's not going to be a city, but there is going to be a place where you can buy food, improve your weapons, get new weapons, meet people, all of that stuff, with plenty of NPCs. Here, architecture. Oh, here that's just ideas for. That's for the 3D modeling. Player profile. The environment looks very good. Thank you. Well, it took me a long time to get here. This is maybe my 4th or 5th iteration. Yeah, it's not easy to do level design. I have a couple of videos talking about level design and how hard, at least for me, how hard it has been. What I wanted to show you something. Oh yeah, the skill tree, because the skill tree has been designed, but I didn't develop it yet. So I can show you here how the design looks. And the thing is, the skill tree has 2 main categories. You have what I call I think it's innate. Oh, let me see, because I wrote it down. So there are 2 different kinds of skills: the skills that you are born with and the skills that you can learn. And the skills that you can learn, it's when you icons here, new UI. So this is all the design I do for the UI. That's the quest, that's the inventory, and this is the skill tree. So on the skill tree you have the innate. Game designing I really enjoy, but sometimes I get stuck. Yeah, that's why it's important when you get stuck. That's why it's important kind of to have a good GDD, you know, because then it kind of helps you, like, oh, when you don't know what to do or how to continue, it's like, okay, what's in my plan, what's in my document, what I should be doing. The learning skills of werewolf and other creatures feels very Skyrim. Oh, I never played that game. Maybe I should try it. So yeah, hopefully you can see it here. So you have these 3 skills those are the ones that you are born with. So the human skills, this is just to, you know, to add more life, more stamina, more whatever. I have to check. I don't know what other attributes you can modify, and maybe the strength and the resistance. Then you have the unknown, but the unknown is going to be the werewolf skills. And then you have the looter that allows you to pick up locks, to have more luck, like finding better items, and that kind of stuff. And the equip skills are the ones that you unlock once you find or you buy a different weapon. So when you equip your rogue weapons or stealth weapons, then you can unlock all those skills. The same for the warrior or the melee. In Skyrim, you can learn very use skills and fighting styles, and it's very fun. So that's exactly the same I'm doing. You're gonna be able to carry all of these weapons on you, and very easily, like with the remote, the controller, very easily to use one another one. Because, for example, the Berserker is gonna be like usually bigger weapons that are gonna be very good, for example, to crowd control. Um, if you have a lot of enemies surrounding you, you can use the heavy weapons to like clean the area. The melee, it's more like gives you all the skills to block attacks, do counter attacks. So it's more kind of a little bit more, maybe more like Dark Souls or Souls-like combat, where you can parry, you can counterattack, you can roll, block, etc. The stealth is to do the stealth and to do the stealth kills. I think the skill tree will be the most fun thing in your game. Well, I mean, the skill tree, it's heavily related to the combat. That's why when you asked me, I said combat, because I think you can focus on just one branch, or you can do all the branches, and then you're gonna be like multi. What you were saying, it's more multi skill, no? Why you don't try crowdfunding? I want to do that, but I want to do that later when I have more an audience. Right now, I feel like I mean, I usually do, that's not my first time streaming on YouTube. I usually stream on Twitch, but I wanted to try today. On Twitch, usually I stream in Spanish, so the audience is different. So I don't know, maybe I'm gonna start switching or doing a little bit in Spanish there and English on YouTube, or because I realized to do it bilingual, it's kind of hard, because if a lot of people it comes to to listen in Spanish and then I speak in English, they don't understand anything, and vice versa. So I am thinking maybe use YouTube for English and Twitch for Spanish. You have a good audience, I think. I have a good audience, but it's small. I feel, because Kickstarter, for example, they don't really help you. So when I do Kickstarter, I want to be sure that I have a lot of numbers, a lot of chances to be successful. I'm not going to be asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars, because I think Kickstarter nowadays, it's more like a marketing tool that if it's successful, then you can get to other medias that maybe can help you. But yeah, Kickstarter, I'm going to do it for sure. I don't know when. I have been streaming now for a little bit, and I want to keep doing it to, so people can join, they can know me a little bit better, ask about the project, and if they like it, so then give some different ways that you can support the project. But yeah, I'm kind of still growing my audience a little bit. I feel like, yeah, my audience is very good, but it's just a little bit small to do this kind of stuff. Yeah, I say Kickstarter is a double-edged sword. Have good and bad side. Yeah. And, I have been researching a lot about it, and I want to do it properly. Not properly, but I want to do it in a way that I can be successful, and people can support the project, and we have a project that it's gonna keep going. So yeah, Kickstarter is totally an option, and it's something I'm gonna be working probably this year at some point. No, I don't know when, but I want to do it. I just want to have, more people being aware of the project. So when I launch the Kickstarter, I have more people aware of it. So yeah, that's the whole project so far. You can see here, yeah, all my icons, and that's all the UI that I do. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to the ugly development level so I can try to fix that issue with the interaction system. Your thumbnails are really good. I mean, I don't know how someone can make such a simple but effective thumbnail. You think they are good? I mean, I don't know. I feel like thumbnails are hard to make. I just try to make something that looks good, easy to read. I just think like it's I don't know. YouTube is such a weird thing. Between my devlogs, I always try to post shorts to show the progress, to show new stuff, and those, I mean, the shorts, they work very weird. Sometimes I get 12 views, sometimes I get 3,000 views. It's very like inconsistent, and I don't know if it's a YouTube thing, but I get a lot of, especially in my shorts, I get a lot of dislikes. Weird, because I think I never dislike anything, unless it's I mean, I don't think I ever dislike a video on YouTube. If I see your thumbnail, I just want to click them. Just a feedback, really do the work. Oh, well, that's good to know. Well, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I mean, here I have a couple of issues that I don't really understand. Why are they? By the way, are you a developer as well, or you are like what do you do? Here, picking up. So let's see. I'll move. Can I move this a little bit? Trying to make my chat a little bit bigger. Go up. Sorry for talking so much. I'm making your development slower. Oh no, that's totally fine. I mean, the whole purpose of the streaming, it's more for me to talk to people and show the project. Obviously, I'm gonna be working on it, but yeah, don't feel bad. I almost prefer that you make all the questions you want, and it's not a problem at all. Usually, if I just want to work, then I don't stream. The stream is more so we socialize. I can meet new people, talk to people, and be a little bit more like, yeah, like people can see me and see me working and ask anything they want. So yeah, keep shooting. If you have more questions or suggestions or anything, I'm happy to hear. Okay. Complete. So this is the function that I use for the when we are about to pick up something, we do all of that stuff. I feel like the game dev is so hard, like hardest media to perfect. Respect you, man. Well, thank you, thank you. I mean, game development. You know what I think about game development? It's very hard, not because of all of the things that you need to learn, especially if you are solo like me. Then yeah, you have to learn a lot of stuff, which can be very overwhelming. It took me. I started in 2016, so it took me what almost 8 years to learn 3D, to learn. I started with Unity. Now, like 3 years ago, I switched to Unreal Engine. So it's a long journey, but I feel like what's the hardest thing, it's not just about learning new stuff, it's about the consistency. And when you get discouraged, to keep working, to find the motivation to keep going, because there are days that it's very hard, and I don't make any money from this yet. You are trying to jump into game dev as well. Well, I would say take it easy, and it's better to do. Now I'm exaggerating, but it's better to do something like, let's say, every day to work on game dev 5 minutes. This is an exaggeration, obviously, but it's better to work every day 5 minutes than working one day 20 hours and not working again on it for a week. So if you can work 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever you can every day, better than one day you put 15 hours and then the next day you are done. So I would say take it easy. This is a marathon. Your best weapon is consistency. And yeah, try and then learn from the days that are gonna be, you're gonna have hard days where you feel like very bad, like very discouraged, like nothing is working out, there is no progress. So you need to learn from those days to, okay, this is just a bad day. There is always something positive in everything. So tomorrow it's gonna be better, and it's all about learning, I think. Finding tutorial for a specific thing is so hard most of the time. Just waste by searching and looking stuff. The tutorial thing, I mean, I have watched so many tutorials. I don't know. What are you having a hard time to find something? Because I mean, I have a ton of tutorials I can share. If you have some issues with something, I can help you with that. Because the tutorials I found, I mean, there is a lot of, I'm not going to say garbage, but there is a lot of noise out there. So yeah, sometimes it's very hard to find stuff. But I have a couple of YouTubers that I follow, and they usually have good tutorials, like short, on point. There are other YouTubers that, and maybe that's what I do as well, my mistake, that sometimes we talk too much. So it's a tutorial, you want it to be short, you want it to be on point, and like learn it. If it can be, if you can learn it in 5 minutes, better. Like I want to make a point and click game, but there is not a lot tutorial about that. Well, you have to, like in game dev, anything you need to do, it's break down any problem into smaller problems. I know that's a very classic thing, a topic that everyone probably says, but and then once you break it down in little problems, then try to find the tutorials for the little problems. For example, if you just want to move a character based on where the mouse is, look for a tutorial for this. You don't look for a tutorial for the whole thing, because then it's probably not gonna be too good. If you want to do that, then I would recommend jump into Udemy, because in Udemy you have long courses, like maybe I don't know if they have it, but I would say for sure they have it there. All right, I'm gonna close the door. I have the neighbors are like doing their like mowing the grass. So here, if you put, are you using Unreal Engine? If you do point and click, let's say Unity. Well, that's Unity. Oh, I mean, look like Monkey Island. That's if you are doing in Unity, maybe this is a good one. And otherwise, if you're in Unreal, I'm scared of things like code getting too messy, like one tutorial code clash with other tutorial. Yeah, well, that's something that you're gonna have to, you will learn that. So the thing is, what I would do, I mean, I don't know how new you are, but what I would do is I would try to do first, have a little project. I mean, point and click can be kind of simple if you don't go crazy with like tons of dialogues and inventory. And so just have a little mini project. Let's say I'm gonna do a room with a character that can pick up a couple of things, and there is a story. And so you do that little thing that feels like, oh, this is so simple, so silly, I want to do. Then you do that, and when you're clear and you have all your mechanics around that, that's why I work here, because for me it's it's easy to iterate. It's easy. I don't get overwhelmed by or distracted by the design. It's just like functionalities. And you're using Godot, so I'm sure then let's go here. Let's put point and click Godot. Develop your own games. Point and click game. That's Unity. Yeah, that's weird that I put Godot and I'm getting Unity results. I mean, maybe if there is no point and click, I would start just like one of those beginner courses that they are gonna teach you. Because the other thing, it's not just when you get maybe not this one. This is 3D. I don't know if you want to do 3D. But yeah, just do one of those like more generic courses, so you learn you learn about the engine as well, and you learn some mechanics. You learn how to, communicate different. I mean, if it's Godot, probably they use code, no C# or something. So because that's important, and to not feel overwhelmed, I think the first thing you want to do is to have a little bit of understanding of the engine, and then when you have that, then okay, create a little, like a small project that you can work and then do the breakdown and try to learn the different mechanics. But for example, for my game, I knew I needed an inventory, I needed a dialogue system, I need a quest system, and then the combat, no? Was inventory, quest, dialogue, and combat. So then I was like, okay, how to make an inventory? And then I did a ton of tutorials of inventories, how to do the dialogue. For the dialogue, for example, I bought an asset, and then I learned from the asset how to do it, and then I did my own system. And yeah, so you break down the game on the systems that you're gonna use, and then from there you start. When you have the system, then you can put them together. But this is for sure. It is a long journey, and sometimes there is no help out there to help you with what you want, what you need. Especially, I guess, Godot now it's getting more popular, so you're probably gonna get more help. With Unreal, sometimes it happens to me. I have an issue and I don't find help to fix it, so I have to do it in a different way, or I fix it by myself, or I don't fix it. So yeah, I'm gonna go back here and let's see. Yeah, let me save that here. Okay. So this is looking kind of correct now. Oh, one second. Let me check something. Oh, let me see. Oh, I didn't have my camera the whole time. I'm sorry. I have to walk my dog. It was really fun talking to you about and every advice from you is really appreciated. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming by and say hi. And yeah, I'll maybe I'm gonna try to start, streaming more on YouTube. But otherwise, I'm streaming every day on Twitch as well. So if you want to just join me there, I'll be there. Good luck for your game. Well, thank you so much. Have a good day and have a good walk. Do you stream on Twitch? Yeah, I stream every day on Twitch, but usually on Twitch, Because I have more like an Spanish audience. I do it in Spanish, but I have no problem on switching languages. Just like sometimes I feel bad because people, you know, maybe doesn't understand English or doesn't understand Spanish. But here I'll share my channel on Twitch. I'm actually feeling bad for saying bye. I really appreciate you. But that's fine. Don't feel bad. You know, you can. You know, you'll have more chances to be here, or I already appreciate so much. If you watch my videos and like them, that's already like. I mean, I'm very appreciative of that. So don't feel bad. And if you want, my game is already on Steam. If you want to, if you want to wish list it, that's very helpful as well. Let me put maybe I should pin those, hope. Can I? How does it work? Oh, I can pin pin message. If I do like this, you can wish list, wish. Well, thank you so much, Abdullah. Where are you from? I think that works good now. I just have to. Okay, so when I pick, so why is not? It's not removing the item from the ground. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here. From Sudan, never been there. I have been, well, I have been, but I'm in Egypt. Oh, nice. I never been in that part of Africa. I have been in Morocco. I have been in Cape Verde. What else? Mauritius. I don't know if Mauritius probably is not considered. Yeah. Never been in that part of the world. I'm sure the food is very good. I love all the food from like these places. They are like the spices and the flavors. Where's Lobo? I'm seeing. Oh, I'm trying. I'm trying to write a message so I can pin it. It is. It's in Morocco. Wish list. Okay, I'm gonna. Sorry for spamming this. I'm just trying to learn how to. Yeah, I'm gonna do just to. Yeah, trying. I just pinned the message. Perfect. So what were you saying? It's in Morocco. What do you mean by it's in Morocco? Let me see why it's not like removing the, I have here player. It's supposed to pick the, let's put here a print. Are you a game developer as well, Abdullah? Oh, Marrakesh is Morocco? Yeah. I know. I have been in Marrakesh a couple of times. I usually, so I have been in Morocco probably like 7 or 8 times in my life because I'm originally from Spain, so it's not very far to go to Morocco. And one of my hobbies, or after game dev, my main hobby is windsurfing. It's kind of an old dude sport, but well, I guess because I'm old too. But yeah, I have been windsurfing for since I was 14. So we were going to Morocco in the ocean, in the Atlantic side. There is a little town called Essaouira. I'm learning. Oh, you are learning to be a game dev. Nice. What are you? Are you like set in an engine, or are you trying different engines? So I travel a lot. I traveled a lot when I was younger because I wanted to windsurf. So I went, yeah, Cape Verde for windsurfing, Morocco, Mauritius, all of those places. Unreal. Okay. And how is it going? Are you having a hard time? It took me almost a year to get used to Unreal. It was very overwhelming, the amount of settings and options you have. Now I'm more comfortable, but it's not an easy engine to start with. So I'm gonna say here, item is not valid because I want to check. I want to know why it's not removing the item from the ground when we pick it up. Okay, so I still have issues here. I can see the. Oh, let me start again. Okay, I have another issue. I have to check. I think this is working good now. Let me see when I do this. Item is not valid. Okay, so why it's not valid? Inventory, interactable base. Here, when we do it's really hard. Yeah. Current interactable is. That's why I was saying that I feel for game development, one of the most important skills to have, it's like that, like kind of consistency and the patience and the perseverance. Like you want to do it and you're gonna do it no matter what, you're gonna learn it. It just sometimes it gets very hard because people that, for example, my wife, she doesn't do anything like tech related. So she doesn't understand that I can be sitting in front of my computer for 12 hours and the progress maybe it's, oh, now you can pick up an object from the ground. So people that doesn't work on tech or on game development, for them it's very hard that you put all of those hours and maybe it's just to learn a little thing. And So yeah, that makes it sometimes if you're married or you have kids, it makes it even harder because then you have to share your time with your family and your friends, and it gets. I mean, yeah, it gets hard. I don't know if I should create here a new variable just to ensure um, that I'm not destroying this. I just don't understand why this gets I'm gonna stop printing in the other side here. Yeah, let's stop this because that we know that works now. Okay, and then best, no, current, it's called current interactable. That's in the inventory. So are you working on a project? Are you working on a game or something? Current interactable. Let's see if we can understand what's going on here. Set interactable, current interactable, okay. On the best interactable. And then let me see when we call that an update. Update best interactable. If interactables are bigger, okay. So if interactables, okay. If this is bigger than 0, that means that we have items around. We look for the best one, and if we don't have items around, that gets empty. Just doing tutorials. Okay. I would recommend, I mean, doing tutorial is great, but I always recommend to, even if it's a small thing, a small game, a small interaction, to kind of have a real thing, like a real project that you want to work on. Because then, when you do the tutorial, you're doing the tutorial, applying it to your project instead of just just using whatever they are using, a cube or whatever. I think it's always good to do the tutorial, try to understand it, and then try to apply it to your own thing. Because then it's when you really learn. If you just you just repeat what they are doing, you learn something, but when you apply what they are doing to your own thing, I think you learn much better, much best. Much best? Yeah. Much more. So here I'm using, so the way it works, it's based on the angle from the camera to the object, we choose which item is better. So which one is not just closer, but for example, if we have an item in front of us and an item behind us, it's gonna select the one in front. I will do it in the future. Yeah, that's just just take your time and take it easy. Don't put too much pressure on yourself either, because when you put too much pressure and I have to do this, and you can get frustrated and discouraged as well. So I think it's important to not put too much pressure on ourselves. We get already too much pressure from other places, so so this thing for some reason is getting reset before we can even grab the thing. So I'm wondering, oh, I think you just follow me on Twitch, no? Thank you so much for the follow. I just got an email. So I don't know if I should go and check what's going on with this variable or just try to kind of do like a bypass where I know, for example, the easiest thing would be, for example, here, before we perform any action, I could create an object. Let's say we can call it temporary. Let's call it temporary picked object, picked item, and this is an actor. If you have any questions or you have issues with anything on your project or your tutorials, feel free to ask anything. If I know it, I'm more than happy to help, or even I can try to look for a solution, or just don't be afraid to ask anything. So what I'm gonna do here, well, the first thing we should do actually we should check. I mean, I have all of these things here. Let's try to move it. We should make sure that this item, the current interactable, is valid, because I think we are having an issue here with this. Yeah, no problem. So if this is valid, then we'll do that. So what I'm gonna do is the temporary picked item, we're gonna set it, and this is gonna be the same than the current. And if this is not valid, then we are going to set the temporary to nothing. So the purpose of that is, if this value changes, for any reason, this value changes in between, because now it's not instant. So when we interact with the item, there is obviously like a 3-4 second, not delay, but because it's playing an animation, I guess can happen that during the animation, that item can be, well, we can, let's say we can lose focus. So this current interactable can become empty during these 2-3 seconds. So this is just a way for me to make sure that before we start the animation, the item has a value. So when we get to the point where the animation, the guy goes down and picks it, that value still exists, because otherwise what happens is it picks something, or does the animation of picking something, but it doesn't remove it from the scene. And in the same way, after we interacted, oh, here we are destroying the actor, but I think we never get here. So the thing is gonna be here, temporary. We are gonna set this to empty, but before doing this, we are gonna destroy the item. Well, if it's, well, it should be valid, but let's do a double security thing. Okay, we can remove. I'm not sure if I'm gonna remove it or I'm gonna set it as empty. So if the temporary picked item is valid, we are gonna destroy it. And I guess we don't need to set it as empty, no? It's if when you destroy it, it means that it's already empty. Let's see if that fixes. And we do that because probably we are managing the information during the thing. So here on the player, we are not gonna do this. We are gonna use the new variable that we created, the temporary picked item. That's gonna go here. So maybe I can do just this. Oh, it doesn't let me do that. Is this temporary? If it's create location, and it's not gonna let me do that. Oh, actually, this is an interactable. Okay, so I'm gonna change the class instead of actor. Let's do interactable base. And now it's gonna complain, but it's all good. Just change the type of the variable. Oh, that was fast. So now I'm gonna be able to get the sound. And then the last thing is just to do the. Okay. Let me see if everything works. Okay, that works. Didn't complain. So now let's see if when we picked up one of those items, it's destroying them from the scene. I was having an issue with that. So hopefully now the interaction system works a little bit better. Okay, so that looks like it's working now. Just switch it to English. And now here, this one, the sword, I feel it's not working too good though. Okay, that's fine. That's totally what we have to do. Clear data, and then yeah, I'm getting some errors because when you pick up a weapon for the first time, it's supposed to. I don't have the camera very close. Right? When you pick up an item for the first time, it's gonna launch the tutorial, so that's why I'm getting those errors there. But that's fine. And here, for some reason, we are having I mean, I don't think it's a big issue, but it's not putting the object on the, let me see, let me see if I can see the pivot point. So the pivot point is there. I don't know why it's not adding. So let me see. This is that. Okay, this is the same. The trigger area, that should be at 0, but it's not. Trigger area. Let me fix another thing. Here I'm doing this rotation. Sorry. And we should be doing this only with items that are weapons. We shouldn't be doing this with clothing, because the clothing, what I want is the cloth to fall flat. So here, if we get the info, get the interactable info, and I get, we can break this, and then from the info, I guess we can get, this is gonna be, we need to get the equipment info. So I'm gonna break this. And then here we can do how you do it, switch, select. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Aún estás por aquí? ¿Te habías ido? ¿Has vuelto? Vale, entonces, a ver, el truco este, es que esto no lo uso mucho, el selector, pero creo que para estas cosas va bastante bien. So here, depending on what the slot is, we are going to be providing a rotator or another one. So for this one, let me move it here. And then that goes here. Let's move all of these so we have more room. Tenía abierto el directo y me había ido a comprar al kiosco. Muy bien. Pues gracias por dejarme el view. Mira, tenemos 7 likes ya. Entonces la rotación la pondremos aquí. Y cuando el slot es cabeza, no, esto solo lo pondremos para el heavy weapon, para el normal, o sea, básicamente para las armas, ¿no? Y a ver si hay que dejar views y likes. Y si esto le digo select. Return value. Hostia, esto lo puedo enchufar aquí también. Item, location, inspectable. Item. A ver, qué más tenemos aquí? Si hago un break. Item ID, item type. Esto es lo que quería. Y hago un select, ¿no? Vale. When it's equipment, we are gonna do this. That's kind of cool to be able to do this like this. Because depending on the item and then depending on the equipment, we are gonna give different rotation. And then all of that comes here. So for the rest, we're gonna be doing this. If it's food, we want to rotate it as well. If it's a key and if it's a throw, all of those can rotate, and that's it. Kind of weird, but kind of cool to do like this. Vale, publicamos. Ahí publicamos. Vamos a ver, ahora teóricamente lo único que rota, the only thing that it's gonna rotate randomly, it's the weapons and other items, but not the clothing. So now this is working nicely. Now we have all our triggers in the right position. Esto ya funciona más fino. Lo único que no acabo de entender es la espada. No me lo coloca en la situación buena. Vamos a mirar. Vamos a mirar qué pasa con esto. Edit, open blue, open the blueprint editor. Okay, so let's see if I'm like something is misplaced for some reason. Oh, I think I moved that trigger area. I put it 0. Let me see. Let's see. Cool. So that's what we want. Okay. So now instead of having it like this, we were saying to put it a little bit higher. Cool. So now if I come here and I decide, oh, I don't want this anymore, I want to drop it. Okay, so now let's work on the dropping thing because the dropping thing is not working. Here, player. I guess let's say this. Then let's go to interactable. No, in the inventory, we should have a drop item. So let's see what's going on here with the drop thing. So when we drop an item, set actor location to this random thing. Pre-actor location. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So it's getting the position before we open the UI. And then we are doing minus 80, so it puts it 80 above ground. And set physics. Let's put a breakdown here. Ando con una cosa tan rarete. Ando con una cosa tan rarete. ¿Tienes algún problema con qué andas? A ver, vamos a... Y ahora si hago el drop... Uy. Si dropeamos... And a leather blade. Let's see what's going on. So I just drop I just dropped. Acabo de renderizar mi última cinemática que dura 35 segundos en Unreal y el render lo subí a Adobe Premiere, pero la cinemática dura 42 segundos. Es rarísimo. Y los fotogramas por segundo coinciden de un sitio y otro. O sea, si lo grabaste, vamos a decir, si lo grabaste a 30 fotogramas por segundo, mira que Premiere lo tenga a 30 fotogramas por segundo, pues si lo pones a 24, seguramente te va a dilatar el tiempo, ¿no? No soy un experto, pero me da la sensación que ese podría ser el problema. So we drop the weapon here and oh, it's up there. Why is here? Oh fuck. No. Sorry. I said. Why is it here? Let me see. Let's do here. I'm gonna do when we do a drop instead of doing the breakdown. I'm gonna do let's do a dilatation, so I still have control of the with the controller, but let's do it like very slow, maybe a 0.01. And then now let's see. Oh, I have to charge to load the game again. Okay. And now when I do the draw, ahí lo corroboro, seguro es eso. Hombre, yo creo que es lo que tiene más sentido quizás. O sea, posiblemente. ¿Dónde está la espada? So that's correct. We don't have Skylar mesh. The mesh placeholder, it's oh. Let me see if the scene capture. No, it's at 10,000. So this is at 10,000. This is my little trick for the inventory. I put the player here, up here. The other blade. It's at 31,000. How is it? I mean, how is that even possible? I mean, let's see here. Okay, let me. I'm gonna. No, in the inventory. Where is the inventory? The inventory. I'm gonna disable the physics again, and then I'm gonna go here. BP player controller, free actor location. Okay, let's do a print here so we can see what's going on with the position, because that doesn't make any sense. Vale. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, because now we are like just working with physics a little bit. On the inventory, we don't really need to mess with this. So I feel like we could do this. And I'm gonna have, we're gonna have another problem is, claramente era eso, Dani, chavándome las papas como siempre. Bueno, solución fácil. Cuando cogemos esto y ahora lo volvemos a tirar a la escena, ¿vale? Me aparece ahí. Hostia, aquí... Hostia, está aquí, esto va a estar delicado porque... the object is not on, no, it's not interrupt for 1 second. At the beginning, used for throwables or when we drop items. Okay. Y aquí habría que poner has been picked or interacted. Aquí is being thrown. Yo creo que habría que poner otra variable que se llame has been dropped. O is being dropped. Y esto tiene que estar visible en el exposed on spawn, okay? So if if it's being dropped, get. If it's being dropped is true, we don't do any of this. branch. If is being drop is false, that means that is being not spam and maybe manually placed on the scene. If it's not being dropped, then we are gonna do our physics system. Okay, so I'm gonna say that here. And now on the inventory, we're gonna say is being thrown and it is being dropped. Is being thrown. Let me see if it's being thrown. Why are we doing this? If it's being thrown, find references. I don't even think we are using this anymore. And it's being thrown, it's a little bit, we use the it's thrown when we are like throwing the throwables, a stone, a bottle, something like this. So I think we can come here. He is being thrown. I don't know where we are using the is being thrown, to be honest with you. I know I see it here, but I don't think we are using it. No sé por qué hablo en inglés, porque me parece que eres el único que me está viendo ahora. Vale, is being thrown. Vamos a ver. Find reference. Set y get. Oh, aquí. Si está siendo tirado. Si no está siendo tirado. Ah, vale, me acuerdo. Yo te escucho porque en ratos hablas español, después pasas en inglés. Bueno, igual voy a hacer como antes, hablo en español y si alguien viene y me habla en inglés, entonces cambio, pero hablaré en castellano. Que, a ver, ¿cuánto tiempo rato digo? ¿Cuánto tiempo? Lo que creo que voy a hacer. Mira, llevo 2 horas y media. Voy a hacer una pausa. Me voy a ir a comer algo. Y voy a volver y seguiré streameando en Twitch. Para hacer algo así. Hoy y mañana. Mi mujer no está. Que está trabajando todo el fin de semana. Así que creo que entre hoy y mañana igual pruebo cosas un poco diferentes a ver qué tal. O sea, nada, es que no he desayunado aún. Son las 12 de la tarde. Bueno, de la mañana. Bueno, el mediodía, vamos. Me voy a comer algo y nada. Y entonces arrancaré desde Twitch. Y si te apetece y estás por aquí, pues nos vemos ahí, ¿vale? Y nada, todo el resto de la gente que se haya pasado, muchas gracias por pasaros. Thank you for passing by and saying hi. I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna have some lunch and maybe stream later on Twitch if you want to. If you want to keep watching the development and having some crazy dude talking, that's me. So see you later or see you in a little bit. Bye bye. Ciao, ciao.